It's very helpful for people to hear that they should make themselves competent and dangerous and take their proper place in the world.
Competent and dangerous? Why dangerous?
Because it's the alternative to being weak. And weak is not good. The people who shoot up the high schools, they're weak. They're weak.
How is it good to be dangerous?
Because it makes you formidable. And life is a very difficult process, and it's not for, you're not prepared for it unless you have the capacity to be dangerous. You have to be powerful and formidable and then peaceful, in that order, right? And that's not the same as being naive and weak and harmless, which is what young men are being encouraged to be. It's like, that's a very bad idea. It's a very bad idea, because naive, weak, and harmless means that you can't withstand the tragedies of life. You can't bear any responsibility. You'll end up bitter. And when you get bitter, then you get dangerous.
But one thing I'm not getting, there's a big difference between letting people do something for themselves and saying men should be dangerous. By dangerous, that implies I should be ready to threaten someone, to hurt somebody. No,
you should be capable of it. But that doesn't mean you should use it. There's nothing to you otherwise. Like, if you're not a formidable force, there's no morality in your self-control. If you're incapable of violence, not being violent isn't a virtue. People who teach martial arts know this full well, right? If you learn a martial art, you learn to be dangerous, but simultaneously you learn to control it. Both of those come together. And the combination of that capacity for danger and the capacity for control is what brings about the virtue. Otherwise, you confuse weakness with moral virtue. I'm harmless, therefore I'm good. It's like, no, that isn't how it works. That isn't how it works at all. If you're harmless, you're just weak. And if you're weak, you're not going to be good. You can't be, because it takes strength to be good. It's very difficult to be good.
When you get bitter, you get dangerous. Very good point, Mr. Peterson. Very good point. When you get bitter, you get dangerous. And in some cases, justifiably so. In some cases, justifiably so. You know, Jordan Peterson made a lot of valid points that I want to expound on. But I want to first start off by addressing one particular point that's a bit out of whack to me. A point that's a bit contradictory. You see, Jordy is explaining the importance of being dangerous. But on the flip side, he says people that shoot up high schools are weak. Nah. No, Mr. Peterson. I'd say people who pick on other people to the point that they get shot the fuck up are weak. People who pick on others do it because they feel they have some sort of advantage or upper hand. They do it because they feel the other person is weaker in some way. Preying on weaker people or people you perceive to be weaker is the real weakness. It's weakness in its rawest form. If you can make the argument that shooting people because you are relentlessly harassed is weak, then surely you must believe militaries invading other countries and shooting up random civilians is also weak. But I'd take a wild guess and say most people that listen to this probably have a father, an uncle, a dad, a brother, a grandfather, or a great-grandfather that served in the military that they absolutely adore. I doubt any of you would call those men weak for doing what they do or have done. Oh, you'll condone violence and dangerousness when it serves your agenda, but not the agenda of others defending themselves against you. You'll condone an American soldier shipped to some other country to shoot other people in the face simply over words in so-called antagonistic rhetoric from political leaders. You see, Jordan Peterson makes valid points when it comes to the importance of being dangerous. But it becomes kind of contradictory when he says individuals that shoot up high schools are weak simply because they didn't sit around and take whatever bullshit he feels they should have put up with. Instead of promoting PC garbage like, oh, shooting schools is wrong, how about start teaching these little knuckleheads and bitches running amok to stop doing dumb shit that can get their asses shot? How about attacking the roots of the problem, not the leaves? There's always discussion over what we should tell these school shooters and potential school shooters. Hey, all I'd say is if you feel like blasting your tormentors is the only option, make sure you don't get caught. That's all I'd say. But I digress, because nonetheless, Jordan Peterson is right about one thing. He's absolutely right when he says, you should be capable of being dangerous. You should be very capable of being dangerous. Especially good people. But you know, it should go further beyond simply being capable. Because in reality, everybody is capable of being dangerous. But everybody is not willing to be dangerous. You should be more than capable. You should be absolutely willing to be when necessary. You should be as dangerous as you need to be to preserve the health of your mind and body. This notion that it is somehow a virtue to be a verbal and physical punching bag is dimwit logic. It's abuser logic. It's gaslighting philosophy. It does not make you good. Standing around and turning the other cheek as you get picked on does not make you good. It makes you weak. It makes you weak. It makes you defenseless. It makes you useless. There is no honor in being good for nothing. There is nothing good about being weak. Now, yes, there are times in our life where we simply must ignore certain things. But as that saying goes, there also comes a time in our life when we must fight back. Jordan Peterson couldn't have been any more right when he said, being good is extremely difficult. Being good is extremely difficult. Being good, trying to do the right thing, trying to be a good person is extremely difficult. It's very difficult to be good when you walk into a classroom and everybody is sizing you up looking for a victim. Looking for someone to pick on. Who's the weirdest? Who's the quietest? Who has the lowest test score? Oh, she does. Oh, he does. Let's get him. It's difficult being good when you don't have cool clothes, or you're not a great athlete, or you have lots of social anxiety, and people are mocking and laughing at you, not giving a fuck about the fact that you come from a household where you're getting your ass whooped every day. Or having to witness your mother and siblings get beat on every single day. It's hard to be good knowing at every minute of the day at least one person is trying to make a move on your girlfriend or boyfriend. Sometimes while acting like they are your friend. It's hard to be good when all you want to do is work out at that gym and be left alone. But you've got a bunch of jag-off douchebags mad dogging you, huffing and puffing, just looking for a fight. It's difficult being good when your biggest haters and detractors are your own family members. It's difficult walking into work knowing them little slime ball ass co-workers talking they shit. It's hard to be good knowing no matter what you say, more often than not, these knuckle draggers will not stop in their pursuit to see you fall and humiliated unless you tear their damn heads off. It's hard to be good on a planet where they tell you, oh, just ignore the idiots, but sometimes that simply does not work. It's tough being in a world where every second of the day, everyone is competing. A world where everyone's keeping score. Who's smarter, who's faster, who's taller, who's better looking, who's more artistic, who's tougher. Which country is better, which race is more superior. Oh yeah, it's all a competition. It's very hard to be good in a world where we are told bad is good and good is bad. And despite it all, I'm never impressed by the bad. The bad oftentimes brags about being bad, but I say the bad ain't shit. You see, anybody can be an asshole. Anybody can be an asshole. Being an asshole is easy. Being a shitty person is easy. That's why being bad is essentially weakness in nature. Because so many people give into the easy thing to do, which is to be bad. To be selfish. Anybody can stand in a crowd and laugh and talk shit as one person or small minority of people are berated. Any human being can be bad, and I use the word human very, very loosely. Because the root word of human is humane, and most so-called humans are far from humane. Humane, understanding, civil, empathetic. Nah, most people are not humans. Most humans are simply animals. Functioning off of selfish, primal instinct. It's easy to give into peer pressure to fill the void of loneliness. It's easy to sit back and try to blend in with the bad and say, man, I'm glad it's not me. As you look on in amusement and pity at those who are unjustly beaten. It's easy to be mean. It's easy to be underhanded. It's easy to give into fleshly desires and impulses. But it's hard. It's hard to be good when you're told there is no good. There is no bad. It's all subjective. It's all subjective. It's all subjective. The good old cop-out. Bullshit. Bullshit! Everybody turns into a nihilist when it comes to wrong or right, just to deflect responsibility for their fucked up actions. But Friedrich Nietzsche said fuck Nietzsche! It's hard to be good when sociopath philosophy runs amok. It is very difficult to be good when good has no help, while bad has an abundance of help in this sick and twisted world. This is why goodness should not be defined by one's choice to sit back and get abused and berated. Bottling up all of your frustration and pain because you're afraid of how the world will react if you react. Especially if you react dangerously. I suppose my solution to that mental dilemma is pretty cut and dry. Fuck the world. It is very difficult being good in a world that rewards bad behavior. This is why the devil should never define what it means to be good. Because if you allow the devil to define what goodness is, good will always be a harmless victim that never fights back. It is not good to be a victim. I understand that in life we all take L's. We all take losses in some form or another. And I do have lots of empathy for those who are severely victimized. I do. But it's not a symbol of strength to keep allowing it to happen. Sometimes doing the good thing or the right thing means giving the devil a taste of his own medicine. You cannot escape hell being an angel. As they say, the devil is restless. Therefore, you have to have the heart of an angel, but the restless energy of the devil. That being said, despite all of the ugly, despite all of the bad on this planet, don't ever stop being good. Don't ever stop being good. But when the bad comes knocking at your door, get dangerous.